Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 4, and today we're taking a look at the 2018 Lamborghini Huracán Performante. Now this is based on the standard Huracán, which started production in 2014. This was introduced in 2017 and made up until 2019, and is basically a lighter, more powerful, more track orientated version of the Huracán. And yeah, it's had various changes to it, including exterior changes. If you haven't already noticed, it's got different front and rear bumpers, as well as a rear wing. All of them are made out of carbon fibre, as well as the side skirts. It's also got the position of the exhaust change to slightly above the rear diffuser, as you can see. And yeah, it's also got a new suspension, which is stiffer by 10%, with new springs, roll bars, and radial axle arm bushings. The magnet I can't say that. Basically the magnet suspension that goes on and off has been reworked to give a driver a serious track experience. Like I said, it's a more track orientated vehicle, and yes, steering has been recalibrated as well to make it a more responsive. And yeah, overall this car is lighter as well than the standard Huracán, weighing in at 88 pounds less, meaning it only weighs 3,047 pounds now. Which, when you couple the fact that it's more powerful and got more torque, then you've got a very fast car in your hands here. Speaking of more power and more torque, this now has 630 horsepower, 442 pounds-feet of torque from its 5.2 litre V10. Now the engine's not changed in terms of cubic capacity or anything like that, it's just merely got more horsepower and more torque. 28 more horsepower and 29 pounds-feet of torque more as well. So couple that increase in power with the fact that it weighs less, and yeah, this car is seriously quick in terms of acceleration. And with the additional downforce, it's now a better handling vehicle as well. Obviously the downforce also is coupled with the stiffer suspension, so yeah, a far better handling car and a far quicker car than the standard Huracán, which means that I quite frankly like this more than the standard Huracán, which I never was a massive fan of. But yeah, this is been changed up enough to make it that slightly a bit more exciting, while also visually looking a lot better with those Italian flag stripes down the side, and obviously that big rear wing. It looks a lot more exciting to look at, and yeah, visually is more striking. So yeah, that's pretty much what a Lamborghini should be. Still got the boot at the front, so that's not changed practicality wise. This is still as practical as the standard version, which is always good to see. But nonetheless, this being a more performance orientated vehicle, I'm going to take it out onto the open road and see just what it can do. So lighter, more powerful with better handling means that this is inevitably going to be a better car than the standard Huracán. And yeah, as a result it's hilariously quick, because even the standard Huracán was hardly a slow car. For the fact that I'm not a massive fan of it, I still will say, which is, you know, undeniable, that that car is ludicrously quick while also being a really good handling vehicle. But for me, it just isn't exciting enough in terms of the way it looks, and isn't quite as exciting as other mid-engined supercars. Whereas this is now more powerful, has more torque, is sharper in terms of handling, and yeah, visually it looks better. So it's improved all the elements from the standard vehicle while keeping obviously the really good acceleration and yeah, really good drivability. And yeah, speaking of acceleration, this car can now do 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds, 0 to 100 in 5.416 seconds, and going to a top speed of 204 miles an hour. Now granted, the top speed on this is less than the standard Huracán, purely because of the additional downforce that this has going on for it, but that really doesn't matter. How often are you ever going to get more than 200 mile an hour out of a car like this? Even on the longest straight on a track, you'd be lucky to get up to more than 200 mile an hour. So yeah, the top speed really doesn't matter. What does matter is the fact this is, has better acceleration, as the Huracán can only do it in 2.9 seconds. I say only, but that is nonetheless a 0.67 second gap, which is a lifetime of difference with cars like this, especially when you're comparing them. But as you can see, you can still get it wrong if you hit a wall. And yeah, it's also nearly a second quicker to 100, as the standard Huracán can do it in 6.250 seconds. So yeah, certainly a different enough car over the standard version to warrant its existence, but even so, just the fact that it's been mildly changed from the standard car, but in positive ways, means that it is ultimately the best version of the car. Because, yeah, I know a lot of people really like the standard Huracán, and I do respect it, because it is, as a performance machine, really, really good. Just doesn't quite excite me enough to want to drive it, whereas this certainly does. And it's not really only the standard Huracán that does that, it's the standard Gallardo as well. I always have preferred the Gallardo Superleggera, convertible or hardtop, over the standard standard Gallardo. So yeah, there are more track orientated versions of their cars from Lamborghini do tend to be the more, you know, more striking versions of those cars, while also being the better performance vehicles as well. So yeah, I'm all on board with this. I know a lot of people have been asking for it, and I'm usually not one to advocate for these kind of cars, because they do sometimes feel a little bit samey, and obviously having a slightly different version of a car we already have is hardly groundbreaking in terms of being introduced into this game. Certainly not a car that we could have we would have missed if it hadn't been included, but I am glad it is nonetheless, because it does at least finally give me a Huracán that I can enjoy. And yeah, you can get it yourselves by doing 50% of the current autumn festival playlist, which isn't difficult. Just do a few championships and you will get there in no time. And yeah, you'll get this car, and I'm sure plenty of people will enjoy it as well. Hopefully as much, if not more than me. But yeah, really, really solid vehicle. Will be interesting to see if we can get this on the next Forza Motorsport game, because I imagine on a track it will be even better, because obviously it's a track orientated vehicle, and yeah, a track is where this would really, really shine. So yeah, I look forward to seeing if it's on that next Forza Motorsport game. But nonetheless, here it is on this game, and yeah, it's a really, really great vehicle, and yeah, certainly is different enough to warrant its inclusion, even if it's not a you know, a massive difference over the standard car. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.